Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our Sunday morning lesson. Last week we went over the Tower of Babel. All the people began speaking in different languages. They were being boastful and full of pride and tried to build a tower to heaven to make themselves famous. They were then spread all over many, many lands. There was one group of people that included a great man of the Bible. I'll bet you all know his name. His name was Abraham. Abraham lived with his family, father, mother, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, etc. They were a big tribe. Abraham was probably comfortable. He lived with many people he knew. He had food to eat. He worked and had friends. Well, one day God came and spoke to Abraham. In Genesis 12, 1 through 2, God told him, "Leave your country, your family, and your relatives, and go to a land that I will show you. I will bless you and make your descendants into a great nation. You will become famous and be a blessing to others." Now, we know when God tells us to do something, we should do it. And this sounds really good. God is going to bless Abraham and make him famous. Abraham is going to be a blessing to others. That sounds like a fantastic deal. Let's read the first part again, though. Leave your country, your family, your relatives, and go to a land that I will show you. What if that was it? None of the other promises were there. I would like to think Abraham still would have obeyed because God was the one speaking to him. We obey not to receive an award, but because it's the right thing to do. So what if this was all God told Abraham? Leave your country. In other words, leave your home. Leave what is familiar to you. Leave the people you have known your whole entire life. How difficult would this be? My family and I are moving into a new home. We only lived in our old house for 7 years, but it's still a little sad to leave someplace we've known someplace we've lived for so long. How many of you have moved to a new home or city? I moved a lot when I was little too, because my daddy was a preacher. It isn't easy, but we never lived anywhere as long as Abraham had. 75 years. Wow, that must have been sad for Abraham to have to do. Leave your family. This would be even harder. Now Abraham was going to a new land. Who knows how far away it was? In all likelihood, Abraham would never see his family again. There were no cars or airplanes. There was no way to travel great distances in a short amount of time. Abraham knew he was leaving his family forever. Go to a land I will show you. Okay, here's another scary part. God was asking Abraham to go to a place he didn't even know existed. He didn't know how far away it would be, what it would be like. Would he like the place God was leading him to? This would take total faith in God. Abraham would have to trust God completely that he knew what was best for Abraham and the people he was taking with him. Now, God made promises to Abraham for doing what he asked. But remember what he asked was not an easy thing to do. But thankfully, Abraham obeyed. And we know God made an entire nation out of his family who followed. Isn't that incredible? Abraham's obedience had a ripple effect on all the people of God who are yet to come. We need to remember that when we are given a choice to be obedient and make a good choice, or when we are given a bad choice and we need to break away from temptation to do those bad things. You may think that your decisions now do not matter, but we have to get in the practice of obeying God while we are young. So we will continue to do so when we are grown-ups, and our decisions have a greater effect on both us and other people. Let's follow Abraham's first example of obeying God and trusting that he knew what was best for everyone. When we side with God, we know we were always on the right side, no matter how difficult or what happens. And that is the most important thing of all. Let's be on the right side. Remember, guys, I love you and God loves you too. See you next time.